Welcome back to TinyBlueGames. My name is, of course, Csaw or Chris, and today we're talking about Final Fantasy XIV in 2021. Today we are doing some main scenario quest. Again, it's kind of what I've been up to, because I've really been enjoying the story, and I really want to push forward through Heavensward. So we're just gonna start off where we ended in the last episode, and check out what Mr. Alphinaud has to say. Alright, so Heroes of the Hour. Alphinaud seems distracted. Your battle with Nidhogg's Shade will beget many an epic ballad. Good, so we're going to be sung about, that's great. Csaw, and rightfully so. It was without a doubt one of your more ethical victories. Though I must admit that I took greater joy in seeing you emerge from the experience unscathed. I don't know about unscathed. We had a wipe at least. Maybe two. For sure, a wipe. And not only for your own sake, had you not been there to aid me, those infernal eyes would still be fused to Estinien's mail. Yeah, that was really gross to take off those eyes. Did not love that. Yet even with Nidhogg gone, I cannot help but wonder how much of our friends remain. Let us pay a visit to Lucia and beg news of his condition. Alright, where are we off to? Csaw, Master Alphinaud, my honored friends, as if winning Hraesvelgard to our cause were not enough, you took it upon yourselves to rid us of his brood brother. I know not how to thank you. My own contribution was hardly noteworthy. The true saviors of the day were Csaw and Estinien. One triumphed over Nidhogg's Shade through strength of arms, and the other through strength of will. And speaking of Estinien, what news of his recovery? The Azure Dragoon was conveyed to the infirmary where he now resides under the care of our hospitalier captain. I am told he has yet to regain consciousness. But as you know, Estinien's mind and body were held hostage for many days. We must be patient and allow the process of healing to begin. In the meantime, you would do well to rest and recover from your own ordeals. But surely, Sir Aymeric is never long from Estinien's bedside, and will send word the moment there are any developments. Now, if I have satisfied your concerns, I believe Lord Emerant and his sons are most eager to celebrate your return. That's exciting. I like celebrations. Very well. First Commander. Come, Csaw, 'twould seem that we are awaited at Fort Temps Manor. I feel like this is just gonna be us going around and like celebrating with everyone. Ooh, a cutscene celebration. Fancy.
The heroes of the hour return.
We but did our duty, my lord. It was the memories of fallen friends and not our heroism which saw us through at the last.
It's true.
I gave every ounce of my strength, but mine efforts would have counted for naught had the Warrior of Light not arrived to challenge the Great Worm. As a sworn knight of Ishgard, I had hoped to do more for my city.
I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're against all those dragons.
Well, we cannot all be heroes, dear brother. Let us put away our pride for a moment and revel in the valiant deeds of our comrade. For your sterling service to Ishgard, we salute you.
I like all these, all of them together. This is kind of fun.
And while we're on the subject of valiant deeds, I believe I myself have earned some small measure of recognition. Under my watchful command, the ballistas of the Outer Ward struck down a veritable swarm of Dravanian invaders.
Look at him go, doing stuff to help the world for once. I'm just kidding.
My Lord's command was certainly watchful. He bravely watched as the siege crews took aim, and continued to watch as countless wyverns met their end. Indeed, the ward's defenders proved so well drilled that my lord had little occasion to stop watching.
The truth comes out. I feel like we did a good job of bringing them all like together. Alphinaud is never happy, my god.
There will be time enough to determine who is most deserving of recognition later. Our friends are doubtless weary from their exertions. I had chambers prepared in expectation of your return. You are welcome to retire at your leisure.
I am most grateful for your hospitality, my lord, but I believe I shall pay a visit to the Temple Knight's infirmary. Pray excuse me.
He can't let things go.
Our master Alphinaud has grown. The plight of his stricken brother-in-arms pains him more than his own hurts. In which respect he has come to resemble you, warrior of light. Go then, visit the Azure Dragoon, and grant him what comfort you may.
Weren't we just told not to go visit him? Like... Alright, we're back here. Let's see what's up. Csaw, my friend, what can I do for the savior of Ishgard? You seek Master Alphinaud? Ah, he came to relieve me of my vigil a short while ago. When he begged to sit at Estinien's side, I could not well refuse him. Though he would sooner faint than admit it, the boy must be exhausted by Herzvelger's trial and all that followed. Estinien is blessed to have such devoted comrades. Ah, we're devoted. Aymeric appears lost in nostalgia. My own friendship with Estinien began some 10 years past, shortly after we joined the Temple Knights. Ooh, we're getting some backstory. I learned his name soon enough, but Estinien barely registered my existence. I was less a fellow recruit and more shadow, which occasionally darkened his path. That sounds like Estinien. And so I might have remained had fate not seen fit to intervene. While out on patrol, our company was set upon by a dragon, and we were the only two to survive. The experience forged a bond between us, and such life-threatening situations are wont to do. Okay. Despite our friendship, he remained an intense, solitary youth, wholly obsessed with claiming vengeance against Nidhogg. Revenge was ever at the forefront of his mind. Revenge for the death of his parents, revenge for his younger brother. I would venture that Alphinaud, he sees something of his lost sibling. Oh, interesting. And in the ungentle chidings of Estinien, Alphinaud has found the elder brother he never had. Interesting. I mean, we've kind of seen... I've always thought it more of a father-son relationship, but interesting. Truth be told, Estinien's tactless observations have saved me from disaster more than once, and I can well understand Alphinaud's affection for him. He is a friend for whom I would gladly... Lord Commander, your presence is required in the infirmary. Is he? Tell me I'm on the way. Oh no, what's up? Is he like, he's probably fine, right? They wouldn't just kill him off now, that would be crazy. Quickly, Csaw, we must go to him. Upon proceeding to the infirmary, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Oh, okay. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Okay, here is the cutscene adventure. Is he dead? This doesn't look good. Alphinaud's like weeping beside him.
Estinien.
What's weird is we've never really seen him. Wait, what?
Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my ears.
Like, did the doctor just, like, get it wrong that he was dead? Or, like, was Alphinaud just... I'm so confused.
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief. We feared you might never wake up.
Oh, he was crying because he woke up. My goodness, what a, like, a tease.
Now, Estinien. If Master Alphinaud thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead. Aye, 'twas but a jest.
I've, like, never seen him, I don't think, without his helmet on. This is super weird.
I thank you, Alphinaud. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvelgr to aid in his brood brother's downfall I cannot imagine. But full glad am I that you did. It is an honor to share the mantle of Azure Dragoon with one such as you. I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart. Can you forgive me? There is naught to forgive, Aymeric. You but acted in defense of Ishgard, as is your duty. Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion, that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing. I have heard enough mewling for one day.
Oh.
I like how hard he is on Alphinaud. I guess it is kind of like a brotherly relationship, but I always thought more like a father-son kind of thing.
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses, but I yet retained some trace of awareness. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. Driven by this surging current came wave upon wave of unrelenting rancor.
My goodness.
It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family. When no path remained save vengeance against dragonkind.
I guess that's true. They kind of had a very similar story, him and Nidhogg. They're kind of like two sides of the same coin, and the same motivations drive them. I also really like the lighting of this scene. This is really cool.
Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Comrades and teachers to console and admonish me. Had I not had them to gainsay my...
Oh. I'm sorry, I skipped another line. I'm getting real bad for that.
Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Where once I craved vengeance, I now crave rest.
I mean, you craved vengeance, and you kind of gotten vengeance, right? Like, Nidhogg has been beaten. I know it wasn't really with his doing more than anything, but though he mentally fought, I don't know, he freed himself. But yeah, it would make sense that he wants vengeance, or wants rest now.
Lord Commander, my hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
Oh no. Wait, do we get to be Azure Dragoon now?
My friend.
He has tired himself with too many words.
How do you know that? How you just know that that's what's happened?
Not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet.
Pretty nice room. I like how much nodding there is just between characters. Like everyone's in on something except for me.
I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
What does that mean? What's Aymeric playing at? Interesting. Interesting.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the steps of faith, Sir Aymeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. 'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike.
Smart.
The ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons.
Oh. Getting all
Church was
political.
separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident.
No incident yet. I'm sure there could be.
Done, Aymeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords.
Interesting. So we're getting conclusions everywhere.
Though he strove at first to refuse this honor, the unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept.
I mean, his hat would be enough to convince me. Look at that thing.
And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir. Prominent among the many honored guests at Sir Aymeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace.
It is nice to have them there. That's Vidofnir, right? Looks like she's made a full recovery. Unless I'm confused. Not this dragon, but the dragon to the other side. Oh, is she the girl that was saved by the dragon?
The people looked on in awe.
I believe.
As he soared through the heavens on Dragonback.
Or maybe it's the kids
And
at the
by their
start.
cheers
I don't know.
Did they hail him an Azure Dragoon for a new age?
Oh, interesting. Didn't see that coming. Is this Estinien? Oh my god, there's so much happening. Where's he flying to? Or is this is Harry's Valgar, right? Yeah. Oh, look at us. Just chilling.
Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten. The din of war, giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
Just nice peaceful dragon rides in the sunset. Who would want anything else? Look at us, like, just barely able to sit on that mount properly. We're like just at the very edge. Oh, it does. It does say who is the narrator right there, huh? Sorry, I bring it up because I was confused in the past. This is going to show him writing it, isn't it? Wow, this is really cool. This is a very cool way of tying everything together. Yeah, look at that. Wow. No, that's super cool that they acknowledge the narration in that way. Kind of breaking the fourth wall in some regards. Showing the structure of the narration and where it came from. You know, kind of like Frodo writing the adding to the book at the end or whatever. This is the bed in the hospital, I think. Has he left his helmet there? How very symbolic of him not continuing. Yeah. Which is confusing now, because I'm always gonna be confused when he doesn't wear his armor. Wow, wow, wow. Was that the actual end this time? It's so hard to tell when you, like, start something new or end it. I was gazing out at the sea of clouds in an all too rare moment of idealness when I chanced to behold a certain hero wending his way towards the city on Dragonback. Welcome home, Csaw. Nay, 'twas no grave matter that removed me to greet you in person. Between you and me, I merely sought respite from the pressures of office. No sooner do I surrender my role as temporary head of state than I am burdened with a position of more permanent responsibility. I fancy that it echoes in some small measure the way you must feel when your improbable feats of heroism are rewarded with still more impossible challenges. Yeah, it's pretty much challenge around here. The myth which guided our society for generations lies in tatters. And am I then to be scorned for building upon the system of nobility that I once sought to tear down? And what strange jest is this that places me at its pinnacle, an archbishop's bastard, at the head of the House of Lords? But these questions are for me to answer. It is not in man's nature to change overnight. This I learned through painful experience, and it was this hard lesson which convinced me to take the path which we now follow. Even as we rebuild the bridge between man and dragon, so must we reimagine Ishgard, one carefully placed stone at a time. We must remember that it is not for us that we lay this groundwork, but for the men and women that our children will become. May their towers rise proudly from the foundation, fundament of our legacy. I feel like I'm butchering these texts. I hear word from Captain Whitecape that Estinien has vanished from his sick room. His willfulness survives undiminished, so there's no one know where he went. Should you ever happen upon our unmannerly friend on your travels, pray assure him that I shall keep Ishgard safe until he deigns to come home. Thank you, Csaw, and please convey my warmest regards to Master Alphinaud. You spoke with Sir Aymeric. I do not envy him in his new position. Seems like a weird sentence. Ishgard has chosen a new road, but one littered with detritus of 1,000 years of broken faith. I am gonna freak out over the language they choose to use in this game, I swear. Yet, though her people may stumble from time to time, I know of none better than Sir Aymeric to lead the march of progress. I complain about the language, then I'll also like be just as bad at reading like regular English, so you know, it might be me. As for us, there remains the small matter of ushering in a new dawn in the shadow of indestructible Estinien machinations and a seemingly endless procession of primals. But we too must walk our chosen path, no matter how treacherous the footing. Goodness. A wind-up Aymeric. Dragon Song Orchestra. Okay. A coat. Fancy. But yeah, this is fancy. I can try it on. Oh, look at that. Dang, I look fancy. In the wake of Ishgard's governmental reform, a new airship routes have been sanctioned. You may now travel to a section of distant locales from the landing in Ishgard. It's cool. Does that mean they're like connecting themselves with more of the entire world? What's this? Doesn't look good. Do we know this person? Who's he talking to? Is it like on a phone? Like what? Should I know who that is? This was the Warrior of Darkness, yeah? Oh, he was talking to him, okay. Oh, was he one of the warriors with him? Yeah, that might be true. Thank you, Blan Jerez. Nay, you need not remain there. We shall rendezvous at the usual place. All is proceeding as expected, then. Aye, there is naught to concern us, aside from one overly curious mouse. Oh no! Alphinaud is spying. Oh, Thancred was here too. Him again. It is of no moment. They will play their part and we will play ours. I feel like the Astians just move from one ally to the next and like their allies keep failing them and they're like, someone else will succeed. I feel like that's kind of the weird role of the Astians. they've got no shortage of like evil plans. And thus did grey mists give way to azure skies. Man and dragon rise above, voices joined in song. But beneath shrouded boughs, beyond the scope of light and shadow stirs. Okay, there we go. I feel like we've made it to where we need to make it to. What's our next? Promises Kept is the next one. A new day dawns in Ishgard, and the house of 4 times nights. So yeah, this is probably the next part. I think this is a great place to stop. I think we covered the conclusion of the Dragonsong War, which is crazy. It's crazy, I think, that it ends, like, from stream, people have told me that the next kind of chapters of this are setting up the next expansion, which makes a lot of sense. It just seems like, I don't know, it was such a grand conclusion. It feels weird that it's not the end of Heavensward, but I get it, because like in terms of live servers, you want a transition story to like lead people into the next expansion and get them hyped. So it makes a lot of sense. I just feel like, what a fitting conclusion. And I'm like, oh no, there's still more Heavensward to do. But yeah, such a good story. I really do enjoy how it ended. Although like it's very up in the air with what Estinien's doing right now. Like obviously he's done being the Azure Dragoon, but where did he go? And obviously they meant to do that. I have a strong feeling we will see him one day at a point in time where we probably need him. So I'm pretty excited to see that in the future. And then obviously we'll get to learn more about the Warrior of Darkness and what's going on between them and the Ascians. But you guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed this section of the main scenario quest. Hopefully you've enjoyed my my stumbled reading through some of these text boxes. I'm not great at reading out loud in the most mundane English, so mixing in a few words that I've maybe never seen in my life gets a little crazy as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.